Along the coast of West Africa is dotted many edifices left behind by our colonial masters. Here in the western region, there are quite a few. But currently I am in Sekondi, and this is Fort Orange, a fort built by the Dutch and later transferred to the British. This fort served as a lodge and later as a trading post. Join me as we take a tour of Fort Orange. Thank you. Mr. Kwesi Isoblankson is the Western Regional Director for the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board.
Fort Orange was built by the Dutch in around 1642. Its initial intention was to be a lodge, but later it also took part in the trading activities. Although trading was not so vibrant or active, it served more as a lodge, and it shared some few meters away with another fort called Fort George. It was built by the British, and so Sekondi had two European powers, the English and the Dutch, and that's why we have the Sekondi and Sekondi. Both were Dutch and British land areas, you know. And so Fort Orange belonged to the Dutch, which is in Sekondi. Fort George has been demolished to make way for the naval base.
So that's why the naval base is so close.
So that's why the naval base is so close to the fort. Yes. And so this happens to be handed over to the British in 1870. You know, in the 1870s, the British and the Dutch sold their fort. The Dutch sold their fort to the British, and so this became an English property, and that's why they turned it into a lighthouse to direct ships to the Takoradi Harbour, which was developed by Gaggesberg.
We don't hear so much about this fort, even though we know about Fort Orange in our history books, but we hardly hear enough about this fort. You know, people would usually take a trip to Cape Coast Castle and Mina Castle, but hardly do we hear much about Fort Orange. What is happening here?
Well, Fort Orange, as it turned out to be a lighthouse, was managed under it came under the management of the Port and Harbours Authority. So that was their staff who were living here. And so it wasn't normally captured in the tourism circular. Particularly also it was close to the naval base. So it's a security zone. We are now trying to market Fort Orange as a tourism product.
So you haven't yet hosted any tourists here?
Oh yeah, some visitors too do come here. They do come here on private visit. They come climb up to the top and go, but it's all private, it's all no charge. You know, as you can see, we don't have no reception here. We don't have no facility to receive tourists. But when, because of the history of the building, it attracts people, and so people also do come here to look at it. February was a Black History Month, and we launched a lot of activities here with the Technical University. And so that is to usher in the tourism age of Fort Orange.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So going forward, now when people come here, they'll pay?
Yes. We are putting in the facilities to make it workable like any of the forts and castles in Ghana that attract people. You can go there and have a tour, see exhibitions, enjoy some activity, and then you buy some souvenirs, and then you leave. The intention is to position Fort Orange as a ship, because these buildings were referred to as ships at permanent anchor. We want to use it to tell the story of the transatlantic slave trade, particularly the story on the Atlantic Ocean as they crossed the Atlantic. What happened on the Atlantic? About 2/3 of them died on the Atlantic and took a journey that took about 6 weeks to 3 months. And so their experience is often glossed over by many interpreters. Yeah, so these are some of the significant areas I will point to you. These were the warehouses and then the dungeons.
Oh, they kept slaves here too?
Yes, these were the warehouses and these were the warehouses. As you can see, let's start from here first. So you can see we have mounted some of the exhibition on the panels already. Although, as I said, trading wasn't so active It has some substantial goods to keep, or supplies. These were the dungeons. These were the dungeons. And, these are some of the exits for the. That was for ventilation.
Even as preparations continue to open this edifice to the public, of course it's open but partially, the place continues to be used as a lighthouse, directing ships coming into the Takoradi Harbour, the Sekondi naval base. I'm currently standing in front of the door leading to the control room of the lighthouse. You can see the lights on top of the building. So the next time you visit the historical town of Sekondi or Sekondi, here in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis of the Western region, make sure you make a historical stop at Fort Orange or Fort Orange. Ewurama Smith reporting for TV3 News.